Hey guys, Jim here with another video for you. This is my top 10 remakes, reboots, or reimaginings that I own on Blu-ray. But before we begin, at the end of this video, if you like what you see, please consider giving me a thumbs up, a possible subscribe, but most importantly, please leave comments below. Now, I posted a video yesterday of my top 25 sequels, even though I completely forgot Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Off the top of my head, I would have slotted that one in around number 7 or so. So I said I was going to do a follow-up to that with the remakes slash reboots slash reimaginings that I have in my collection. And I picked 10 that I really, really enjoy. So we're not going to go into any kind of plots whatsoever. We're just going to go into what they are, count down from 10 to 1. And again, I want to stress the caveat. These are based strictly on my own personal tastes, what I enjoy to watch. It has nothing to do with quality of film. So, bearing that in mind, we're going to start off with number 10, and that is the Friday the 13th remake. This came out in 2009, excuse me, and it was around a litany of remakes of classic slashers like A Nightmare on Elm Street, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, My Bloody Valentine, and such. This one I think is actually the best out of all of those, although I really do enjoy the remake of My Bloody Valentine as well. Didn't really like the remake of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and I absolutely hate the remake of Nightmare on Elm Street. But this one, it's kind of like a combination of the first 3 movies thrown into one, and outside of a couple of things, I really do enjoy this movie. Number 9, from my Star Trek Kelvin timeline collection, the first installment, Star Trek. The first reboot on our list, the second reboot on our list. I really enjoy this movie, directed by J.J. Abrams, starring Chris Pine and Carl Urban, among others. I really enjoyed this movie quite a bit. I was shocked how much I enjoyed it. And again, it's different enough from the original to where it makes it entertaining on a totally different level. I really, again, really enjoyed this movie. Number 8. Now this one's a little bit outside the box, so bear with me. Outland. Starring Sean Connery and directed by Peter Hyams. The reason why this is on a list is because this is literally a remake of High Noon. It's just set in space. So this is the first reimagining on our list. And again, classic film, flew under the radar. It's starting to gain kind of a cult reputation through the years. One of my absolute favorites from the 80s. I love this film. So, number 8, Outland. Number 7, Sergio Leone's classic, A Fistful of Dollars, starring Clint Eastwood. This is more or less a remake of Akira Kurosawa's Yojimbo. It's more or less the same exact story. As a matter of fact, the story has also been remade by Walter Hill as Last Man Standing. This is a classic spaghetti western. It's one of Clint Eastwood's best. It's one of Sergio Leone's best. Great movie. Number 6, Mad Max Fury Road. As I explained on the other video, to me, this is a reboot. It is not a sequel. It's its own thing. Directed by George Miller and starring Tom Hardy, Charlize Theron, and Nicholas Hoult. Everybody who's watched this channel knows how I feel about this movie. I absolutely love this movie. Okay, top 5. Number 5, The Blob. Directed by Chuck Russell and starring Kevin Dillon, Shawnee Smith, Jeffrey DeMunn, and Candy Clark. This is one of the great trilogy of 80s remakes from horror movies from the 50s. The other 2 will be coming up soon. This one, unfortunately, doesn't get held in the same regard as those other movies. However, it is one of the best remakes ever made, and it's better than the original. Absolutely love The Blob. Number 4, Zack Snyder's reimagining of Dawn of the Dead. starring Sarah Polley, Ving Rhames, Mekhi Phifer, and what's his name? My mind just went blank. Weber. I forget his first name. Written by James Gunn, directed by Zack Snyder, as I said. This was a breath of fresh air for me. If you saw the other video, you know how I feel about the original Dawn of the Dead. To me, it's the greatest horror movie of all time. I generally don't like remakes, especially of horror films that I love, like Nightmare on Elm Street, as I mentioned earlier. This one just took that basic idea from the original and totally changed it. And with the running zombies, and it's more of an action film, and dropped some of the commentary, doesn't matter. I love this movie. It is a balls-out action thrill ride from beginning to end. One of the best remakes of the last 25 years, without a doubt. Top 3. Number 3, David Cronenberg's remake of The Fly. From 1986, one of my favorite films of all time. Jeff Goldblum gives a career best performance in this film as far as I'm concerned. And like The Blob, this movie is superior than the original in every way. And I love the original, The Fly, with Vincent Price. Don't get me wrong. This movie's fantastic in every way. This, to me, is still not a horror movie. It is a tragic love story. It just happens to be very disgusting. But The Fly is a masterpiece on every level, in my opinion. Number 2, and I should have broke the disc out, but I forgot. So for my 3 Western set, we're going with The Magnificent Seven. Remake of Akira Kurosawa's classic, The Seven Samurai, and with an all-star cast of Steve McQueen, Charles Bronson, James Coburn, Eli Wallach, Robert Vaughn. The list goes on and on. Directed by John Sturges. Quite simply, The Magnificent Seven not only is one of the greatest remakes of all time, it's one of the greatest movies of all time, in my opinion. They did a remake of this movie. I do not like it. I love this one. But number 1, to nobody's surprise, I'm sure, is John Carpenter's The Thing. From 1982. My favorite horror film ever. Period. Not even close. Starring Kurt Russell, Keith David, and a true ensemble cast of great character actors. Wilford Brimley, Donald Moffat, among others. This movie's a masterpiece. Take all the gore out, it would still be a masterpiece about paranoia. I have never seen any movie before or since that deals with paranoia as well as The Thing. It is a classic in every sense of the word. And like The Blob and The Fly, this movie is superior than its original source material. The Thing is a masterpiece. So to recap our list, number 1 is The Thing. Number 2 is The Magnificent Seven. Number 3 is The Fly. Number 4 is Dawn of the Dead. Number 5 is The Blob. Number 6 is Mad Max Fury Road. Number 7 is A Fistful of Dollars. Number 8 is Outland. Number 9 is J.J. Abrams' Star Trek reboot. And number 10 is Friday the 13th remake from 2009. So I hope you enjoyed these selections. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, a possible subscribe. But more importantly, please leave comments below. Let me know what your favorite remakes are. And until the next time, I hope everyone is doing well. We'll see you then.